Luciano from Street Volkswagen and Meredith Oliver from Meredith Communications.
Good morning. How we doing today? Yeah, doing good. Just so you know, we just Facebook Live this, so we're here to talk to you about how to attract customers to your stores. I'm very pleased and privileged to have John Luciano.
Thank you.
And Meredith Oliver, not Dolliver, Oliver, with me today. Tell me a little bit, how important is that multi-channel marketing when it comes to parts and service?
Well, in the retail space, we understand that location is everything, right? We get that.
Yeah.
In marketing today, your location are your channels. Think of it like a television remote control. And every channel that's on your DirecTV has a different audience, a different culture, a different programming style. And if you want to fish where the fish are, like John says, you have to be in all those locations. So that's what multi-channel marketing does for you.
Excellent. You know, now Meredith, you are an owner of a big digital marketing agency. You're also a published author of the book called Fantastic Marketing. Dave Durant loves that word, fantastic.
Fantastic.
Tell the audience a little bit about what does fantastic marketing mean?
Fantastic marketing is when your marketing is for the customer and about the customer, and it's not about you. What? Shocking, I know.
I didn't like hearing that at all.
I know, right? Right? Somewhere along the way, we got so busy drinking our own Kool-Aid about our brand and how great we are and how great your store is. And I'm sure that all of that is true. But the truth is, your fans will tune you out, just like they tune out a commercial during television. That's why we have DVRs. They will tune you out if it's not about them. So a quick example would be if you're wanting to push tires in your store or an oil change in your store, you don't necessarily go on Facebook and sell, coupon, discount. Why don't you do a fun user-generated video on tips for summer travel and then hit them with the hook of the special at the end of that? And that's about them and not as much about you.
Amen.
John, would you agree this is the approach that Street VW has taken?
There's no question about it. I mean, if you visit us or you look at any of the stuff that we do, it's all about the customer. We keep two different cameras on the showroom all the time on a tripod, so when that incident happens, get it filmed, get a picture of it, get something going so that we can get it out there and talk about it. And I think the biggest fear for everybody is where to find that content. That content's in front of you. It's in your store. It's going, it's happening. Get your phone out, guys. You need to do it. Don't look for the guy, as we're going to continue to talk about. You are the guy. Be that person. You want to promote parts? Find your way to do it. Do your niche, and then put it out there.
Absolutely. I'm a huge fan of your Facebook page.
Thank you.
Please tell your peers in the audience, what kind of content are you posting, and how frequently do you post that content?
Yeah, we don't have enough time to talk about the content because it can be anything, and if you study us, you'll see that. And we make it fun. We try and keep it about the community and about what's going on, and we post all day, all the time. We're live right now on Facebook. The guys are over here, got it doing so everybody can wave, and we've got cheers. So we're doing it kind of from both sides, and that's what it is. We've been plugging it from the morning and just talking about, hey, if you know what's going on, what it's like.
Love it.
It's just to be a part of it. The content is there. If you try and plan it, guys, it just doesn't work, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Meredith, I've had many of parts and service managers come to me and say, I need to be in this space. I just don't know how to do it. I got a guy who does it for us. Well, how do you help control that guy? How do you get him out to this journey, this digital journey, so to say? How do they start off doing that?
Yeah, well, what I like to think about it is to think about yourselves as investigative reporters. You're looking for the story. You're looking for your next story, and the stories are all around you. They're happy customers, they're employees that have an anniversary or something exciting going on. There's specials. There's all kinds of cool stuff going on. And if you'll just put your antenna up and kind of pay attention, and then designate somebody on your team to capture that content to get it to the guy, then you'll have a working process.
Right, and that guy already works for you. You just need to look for him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
He's in your store. We're not hitting you with things where you're going to have to spend money. We're telling you things that you can do that's right there. Just ask. Look at their Facebook page. Look, you got that employee that's posting like crazy and got it all out there, and you just kind of say, hey, why don't you do that for us? He'll do it and love it. He's all about it.
Now, Meredith, how important is it to have that video content in today's social media marketing?
Yeah. So if my generation was referred to as the MTV generation, so now you know how old I am.
29.
Yes,
Thank
that
you.
is an
Well put.
excellent answer. Then the millennial generation, your next generation of customers, we refer to as the YouTube generation.
Wow.
So YouTube is the second most searched site for products and services to buy after what's number one, of course, Google. So your customers are using sites like YouTube to research where they're going to get their car repaired, and you want to be where the fish are.
Absolutely. I didn't think this was a fishing tournament presentation, but I've heard fish more than I think I've ever heard in a general session. You know, talking about Google, John, how are you digitally advertising to those customers? What has it done for your fixed ops department?
You know, for us, it's about SEO and SEM and buying it and getting it out there and keeping the face out there and buying those words. What are you about? Are you about tires? Are you about maintenance and what it is? And making sure that you get served up. And that's what it is. And it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't cost a lot to do it. You have the dollars behind it. You can put co-op dollars behind it and get it out there. We had a great year. We 12.1%, I think, on one of our last mailers, and brought in about $140,000 through the pieces. And it's just getting it out there and being seen. So you kind of got to be in everything.
Yeah.
You know, that 12%, you're looking for that 100% coverage, right? So take the time to look at it. And people, I'm talking to you guys, your parts and service guys. It's time. Don't just sit there and wait for the GM or the marketing guy to do this. It's time for you to raise your hand and say, hey, I have an idea, or hey, how about me and the service writer,
Help
and we
me.
do this video.
Help me.
Yeah, help me help you, and get out there and be a part of it. My guys come to me and say, hey, we got this great idea. We're gonna do this event. We're gonna be at a chili cook, whatever it is. Great, I applaud that. I applaud their individualism. I wanna get it out there and get it done. We're just here to be the support, and that's where that content comes from.
Now, Meredith, we were talking behind stage about this, some of the research that you came up with before coming out to the event. Why don't you share that research with the audience?
Yeah, so just to give you an idea of how big a pie there is of online search in related to service and auto repair, easily at 50% of your customers are doing some kind of online research before they decide where they're going to go for auto repair. Now, personally, I honestly feel like that number is low. Some of the more general research that Google puts out, there's a great site, thinkwithgoogle.com, has tons of research about how people use search to find what they're going to buy and what they're going to use. The more general research puts consumer behavior at 80–90% doing online research before they purchase or conduct a service. So it's a big number. And if you don't know your number, this is one of the statistics you need to be measuring. I had a lot of conversations around the pool last night about an inability to measure digital marketing. So I invite you to come to our workshop breakouts this afternoon. And if that's what you want to focus on and talk about, I'll ditch the rest of the deck, and that's what we'll do, because I can, in fact, teach you to measure it. So it's a big pie out there, and it can be measured.
And our friends at the digital dealer Shift Digital booth in the vendor fair are more than happy to talk to you about some of the different great opportunities that they have to get your name out there.
Nice.
You know, thinking about it, there's still people that have, they have smartphones, and I call them dumb phones, the flip phones. There's a debate in the industry is traditional direct mail a dying, breed? Do we even really need to do this? What are you seeing from your perspective?
I think we were kind of falling into that Kool-Aid and thinking it was. And then we realized, because we were starting to have that millennial thought in our head, this and that, we forget about that we have those customers that are 50 and 60 and up, and they love that coupon, and they love to see that. And so you've got to do it, and you got to have it out there. Once again, 75% type co-op back against it. The dollars really spend well, and it brings in good money. It's just another area that does a good job for us and gets it out there. And maybe just goes in the mail real quick, and maybe it gets tossed, but it still had your brand,
It's
had you
delivering-
across the top.
delivering an
It's
impression.
still delivered the impression.
What do you think, Meredith?
I'm in 100% agreement. I think that your marketing strategy should match your fan base. So knowing who your fans are is one of the major tenets of fantastic marketing. So who are your buyer personas, and where do they go when they want to decide what to buy and what to invest their money in? And so if you have a fan base that uses traditional, then you should be using it. So look for that blend of online and offline that is a good match for your group.
Right, hang that hook out there that makes you know that it was that one thing. Put something in there that differentiates it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Tracking.
Yes. You talk about this, the branding. How important is that to a consumer?
It's everything. Your brand is your promise. That's the way I like to think about it. So what do you promise to deliver at your store? And that promise is explained through graphics and through content and language and through experience. And one of the hottest topics in marketing today is that customer experience is the new marketing. It is your marketing. You could spend thousands of dollars pushing out all kinds of messages, but if I go there and I don't have a great experience, it takes one Facebook post to undo all of that money you've spent. So the brand and the promise is everything.
You know, I totally agree. And I got to say, John, did you see how many tires there were in the service lane? If Dealer Tire's in the audience, you better take him out for a steak tonight, because how many sets of tires do you have in your service lane?
Sets, well, there's about 200 tires, so I guess it'd be 50 sets, and it's not a very big service drive. We kind of took it just from the marketing side, like the store does. It makes you walk all the way to the back to get the milk, or they've got all the little fun things that you can buy as you go back out. We just made it where to get out of your car, you pretty much have to trip over tires. I think the saddest, probably most embarrassing thing that I could tell you is once we did this and we really dressed it up and we really got to thinking it, how many people said, wow, I didn't know you sold tires. How embarrassing, you know, for us to be in this industry and find that out. So we were up 305% in tires over the last 12 months.
I'm sorry, I got this thing on. What did you say?
We were up 305%. So
By just putting tires on the service drive.
it's everywhere. They're in the parts department. They're on the showroom. We've got them, you know, we've got rims in them. Talking it, you know, and it wasn't only getting the customer to understand it. I think we got our employees to understand it. I don't even think our employees understood that we're in the tire business. We took 100 ROs, looked at them as best we could, you know, that had tires in them. 6 of them were single line tire only ROs. Every one of them had at least another line or 2, windshield wipers, flush. Look for the upsell, guys. Price the tires, get in there, be competitive, take the hits you got to take. We can't lose these people down the street anymore. And they're attacking us. And you all know it better than I do. You parts and service managers, you know it. This is the way to get them back.
So if we had 50 sets in the drive, if we doubled that, that would be 600% increase. All right, we'll talk later.
Okay.
Last question
Thank
here. Meredith, why is it so important for a dealership to look like a retailer?
Well, getting back to that brand and that promise and that experience, you want your customers to come in and feel it and feel engaged by the actual physical presence of the store. I was sharing with one of my employees that I was coming to this event and how excited I was, and he told me, he said, "Oh, I'm a Passat. I'm a Volkswagen owner. I own a Passat. I love my Passat." He said, "I drive 20 minutes across Orlando to Sanford to Napleton VW just to get my service because it's gorgeous inside. It's sleek. It's like an Apple store, and they have free cookies."
Cookies.
Yeah, and don't forget, in that retail experience, part of that is pumping up that VW gear, the driver gear, and making sure that that's part of that retail experience.
Absolutely.
You got to make it part of your brand.
You got to make it part of the brand. That's right.
Lollipop needs to be out there.
Guys,
Yeah.
we could talk for hours about this, but guess what? We've got some other presenters to come up, but we do have John and Meredith in the breakout session today and tomorrow. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Let's have a great meeting.
Yeah, come find us.
Come find
we'll
us.
answer any questions. Love to see you guys.
We'll be
Thank
having
you
some
so
fun.
much.
Thank you.